What's up, everybody? It is Mikey from Immortals Inc. podcast. Thank you all for tuning in today. I have my good friends Ron and Josh back with us with the Blood Bowl scene. Thank you guys for coming in today, and I'll let you guys take it away what we're going to talk about today.
Always a pleasure, Mike. Well, so in the Blood Bowl world, there's not a lot of official news right now. Me and Josh were just talking. We said the last sort of official news of anything new was back in October of 2024. So it's been a little bit of a drought.
Kind of been a while since October now that it's May of 25.
Yep. So like traditionally, like there's always twice a year, traditionally they'll do an FAQ and errata update, but they skipped last year's second one. So again, it's sort of been a big gap here. There should have probably been a new team by now. No new teams yet. So I guess today I wanted to talk about all the rumors that I've been hearing and reading about online.
Yeah. So go ahead and have you start off on this, because I know the last official thing that Games Workshop did drop was the Almanac from 2024, which was basically the culmination of the last year's worth of books. So not the super greatest for MSRP or even for you guys here.
Nothing big.
But
It had new star players, and not all of those star players have even gotten miniatures yet. So there's stats for them, but there's no miniatures for them yet. But so I'm just gonna thump it down right here. I'm just gonna throw it down. The big rumors I'm hearing right now are new edition September. You know, let me hyper preface this again. This is completely unsubstantiated. I have no inside track. I'm just seeing things that I'm seeing mentioned online a bunch in certain spaces, and I'm like, I want to believe that, so I will believe that for now.
Where are these rumors coming from? Like Reddit or just all socials? Or
Reddit's not super rumory, but I'm just gonna say various niche hobby boards.
Yeah.
I know you're going now. So I won't bring that one up, but to also, if it's not a new edition, one of the other ones I've been hearing a lot is actually Dungeon Bowl. That was one of the first ones that got nuked off their website because, I mean, tariffs and whatever you want to have on that one. Games Workshop immediately freaked out. They basically stopped selling almost everything. And that was the first one they pulled. There was supposed to be at one of their United States Opens that they had here, there was a Dungeon Bowl special that they were running that got canceled. So that's another piece on this. And then now they're canceling almost every single Blood Bowl related thing. I mean, I checked every Games Workshop Open here in the next 6 months. I think that the only one is in the fall, like right around October. So it's either what Ron's thinking or what I'm thinking. So I think we might.
Could be a new edition, could be a new Dungeon Bowl.
I'm thinking new Dungeon Bowl, possibly.
So it's a Dungeon Bowl, if you don't know, is a sort of like weird side game element where you play in a dungeon instead of on a football field.
So it's just a different setting. That's it.
It's got like different rules in the fact that like you're going through like a labyrinthine dungeon and you're trying to find treasure chests instead of score a goal with a ball. But it's same basic rules.
Same basic rules. Yeah. And it's different team elements. So instead of it being like, hey, I'm going to be the goblins, you're going to be the gnomes. It's like, I'm going to be team metal, you're going to be team fire. It's super weird.
Yeah.
It wasn't really thought out the best. And I think that's one of the reasons why it hasn't really taken off as well. You know, controversial opinion. There's going to be that one person on the internet who's going to go ahead and comment, hey, that was my game.
Right. And I'm sure there is a niche for it like everything else, but I'd imagine it's not too popular.
So what other things have you heard on this?
So what I'm reading about the new edition is it's not going to be a big drastic change, but that's not really a surprise because really none of them, iteration to iteration have been a big departure from the previous rule set. A lot of little tweaks to things. Like so they're going to change some of like the throwing rules. But because
I just mastered them now.
Specifically,
right?
what I'm hearing is like when you do a throw and you do like a bad throw but not a fumbled throw, how it deviates from the thrower instead of where he's supposed to be throwing it to.
Right.
They're going to change that. They're going to make it to be the ball will change somewhere different to where you're trying to throw it rather than from where you are throwing it. So that's one thing I'm reading. Another thing that if they're going to rebalance teams a little bit, which is good because
they need it.
If you sort of look at the way the teams have been going this season, or the last couple teams, is they're kind of shaking things up by redoing some of the old teams. Like the Amazons changed a little bit from how they used to be. The Norse changed. The Chaos Dwarfs changed. Khorne changed.
Khorne definitely changed.
So I think there's going to be a lot more sort of like variations to the teams in that sense. And also, very physically, I'm hearing that some of the team boxes are going to be redone. Mm-hmm. If you look on the shelves, you'll sort of see that there's two different styles of team boxes. Some of them are like red and blue. And those are the teams that have come out new since the most recent 2020 edition. Mm-hmm. And all the ones that are sort of like a black color, those are the ones from the 2016 edition. And they still, as miniatures, they still work game to game, but they're going to fix them up because the black ones, the black boxes, there's not as much miniature variety in them. Like all the blitzers look the same, all the linemen look the same, stuff like that. Whereas the newer ones, like you've got a lot more variation to them, like you can change up hands and heads, and there's a little bit more poses to them. And typically, there's generally more miniatures in the newer boxes, but I don't want to say that's an absolute truth.
The other half of that is, the one thing that drives me up a wall about the newer style miniatures as well is the fact that the newer ones, they have to go ahead and add more details because everyone loves those extra details. So they're going to go ahead and make these, these couple guys that are left here, they're going to make them look way more intense to paint. So everyone's going to start really getting into that speed paint versions because it works out so much better.
Speed paints.
But the other thing I've been looking into, history kind of always repeats and rhymes there. So one of the things that they did for the 2016 and 2020 is they kind of also did that 2015-ish. They started putting out less and less and less. They had no news until right around, I want to say like Q4 of 2016 is when they started like saying, hey, guess what? We got a new edition. And that's when they brought out the edition before this one. That was 2016. Mm-hmm. They brought that out. And then there was really no real good data on the 2020 edition because pandemic kind of ruined everything.
Yeah. So September is kind of speculation. Do they ever do an announcement before the announcement, or is it always just like a cold drop?
I think that's typically a very Games Workshop thing to do, is we're going to have an announcement. There'll be an announcement for the announcement for the announcement.
Okay.
But there is another controversy about this, though, because they would have gone ahead and done that here coming up into this. I want to say it was supposed to be in Minnesota.
Yes.
There's this one. They were going to have like this big Games Workshop preview event. And what happened is a person went ahead and found a box of the newest Horus Heresy stuff that literally hasn't even been released yet. Has full pictures, full everything, cracked it open because, why not? You're already in for a penny, might as well be in for a pound. And went ahead and started taking pictures of all the sculpts, everything on the inside, and just ruined their entire exclusive. So they were going to send over their entire team over here to America, and they were going to have this giant preview, and there's like, not my problem anymore.
No, we're not doing it. We're taking our ball and going home.
So
wow.
that was one of the big pushbacks on this preview event, because usually when you've got these large preview events, they're going to like kind of sneak small things in there because they always like to hide like little tidbits amongst their preview set.
Blood Bowl is definitely a tidbit in the greater GW universe. As much as I love it, I appreciate that it is.
That is crazy.
Side.
And yeah, if you guys have any speculation yourself, please comment. I'm sure these guys will see it and they can talk with you. You could also join our Discord to talk with them and, speculate away and give all your conspiracy theories. That is pretty interesting to hear. I hope they do more with it. And it seems like they are repeating history by doing that, by dropping everything and then for the new ignition. So thank you two for coming in again today. Every Sunday at 4:00. The new season started already, so you guys are already in gear, right?
I mean, you can jump in. There's no problem. Now's the time to learn. There's a new edition coming up. Probably. But as I said, it's never a huge departure, so start learning now so you can learn the minor changes soon.
Very well said. And if you guys want to subscribe, join, we appreciate all the support. Thank you, Ron and Josh, for coming in today. And we'll see you guys next time.
Thank you very much, Mikey.